Explosive and shocking allegations made against Alabama Governor Robert Bentley. He's accused of cheating on his wife with his chief advisor, Rebecca Mason. Former Alabama Law Enforcement Agency Secretary Spencer Collier made the allegations today in a news conference. Bentley fired Collier yesterday. Bentley responded to the allegations this afternoon in Montgomery, and that's where we begin our team coverage tonight. With News 5's Emily DeVoe, who attended the governor's news conference. Emily.
Roseanne, Governor Bentley admitted to one thing and one thing only, having inappropriate conversations with his advisor, Rebecca Mason. He said repeatedly, though, this was not physical, this was not sexual, but when asked if it was romantic, this is what he said.
What do you mean a romantic relationship?
Do you love Mrs. Mason?
I love many members of my staff. In fact, all the members of my staff. Do I love more than I do others? Than I do, you know, some more than others? Absolutely. And I accept full responsibility. I want everyone to know, though, that I have never had a physical affair with Mrs. Mason. I can assure the people of Alabama that as their governor, I have never done anything illegal. I have never asked any member of my staff or any cabinet member to lie, despite what the former ALEA secretary said today.
Governor Bentley apologized to the people of Alabama, but made no move of any resignation or the call of resignation of his advisor. Reporting live in Montgomery at the Capitol, Emily DeVoe, News 5.
And thank you, Emily. The former secretary of Alabama's law enforcement agency made details of the governor's inappropriate behavior known today. Spencer Collier even apologized to the former first lady and her family. Our team coverage continues tonight with Peter Albrecht, who's live in Montgomery.
Well, Mel, Spencer Collier says that Rebecca Mason, the person with whom the governor is having this alleged affair, is wielding undue influence over the governor and his policy. Collier going so far as to say that Mason might be the most powerful person in the state.
Rebecca Mason was not elected by anyone, and the level of influence that she is yielding makes her the de facto governor.
Former ALEA Director Spencer Collier saved his harshest words today for Governor Bentley's political advisor and apparent mistress, Rebecca Mason. It was Mason, Collier believes, who was behind Bentley's demand that he not cooperate with the Attorney General's office investigation of House Speaker Mike Hubbard.
She had a level of anger that I've rarely seen as a law enforcement officer.
Collier says Mason is running the governor's office and is heavily involved in the policy of several state agencies, including ALEA, and the decision to close dozens of driver's license offices around the state.
I can speak for the driver's license part because it was ours. She was deeply involved in that.
Collier said he became aware of a sexual relationship between the governor and Mason in August of 2014, seeing inappropriate texts and hearing a recorded conversation.
There was no way to explain it as anything other than sexual or romantic in nature. Body parts were mentioned. And at one point, a statement was given, if we're going to do what we did yesterday, we need to lock the door.
Collier says Bentley may have broken the law by flying Mason, who is not a state employee, on state planes and later trying to hide the fact. But he stopped short of saying Bentley should resign.
I think the governor owes the people of Alabama an explanation.
Now, the governor fired Collier last night, saying he misappropriated funds. Collier denied that today. The story has really all the elements: power, betrayal, revenge, allegations of extramarital affairs, and criminal activity. And it's a story that I'm sure has several more chapters to unfold. Live in Montgomery, Peter Albrecht, News 5.
Again, we keep hearing the name Rebecca Mason. She serves as Bentley's chief advisor. We wanted to find out more on how Mason came to be so close to the governor. News 5's Allen Carter joins us now live from the newsroom with more on that. Allen.
Well, Roseanne, for quite some time, Mason had been around the governor in official and unofficial capacity. And even after the governor's divorce, she continued to play a major role in his administration. Rebecca Mason first appeared in the state political scene in 2010, at the time the governor's first communications director. Before that, Mason was in TV news as an anchor and news director in Tuscaloosa. After that, she worked in consulting before linking up with the Bentley administration, and she was on the state's payroll until becoming his campaign spokesperson for his reelection, a job that, according to media reports, netted her over $400,000.
And she does an outstanding job. She has worked for me in various capacities. In fact, she has been with me the entire time before I was elected governor.
It's not clear when this alleged affair happened, but following his reelection, Mason began work as the governor's senior political advisor, a powerful position, according to Collier.
It has become apparent to me that Rebecca Mason has wielded a level of influence over both the governor and state government that I have never seen in all my years of public service. That includes serving almost 9 years in the state legislature.
The website yellowhammer.com even named her one of the state's most influential people. It also wasn't long after the re-election that Bentley was divorced from his wife Diane. At the time, it was rumored but never confirmed that Mason was directly involved. And Mason is married with 3 children. Now, she did release a statement about Collier's comments today, saying there is no way that man would have said what he did today about another man. He only said what he said about my professional abilities because I am a woman. His comments were clear, demonstrated gender bias. Mason did not directly deny the allegations, though, of an affair. Reporting live in the newsroom, Allen Carter, News 5.